10 years now, been an online marketer. My background is actually in marketing for the last 30 years. I have been in marketing and I brought those marketing efforts online in 2013. And I knew in 2009 I would end up monetizing social media. So here we are. And today I thought I'd come on live and kind of share just a little bit about what I'm working on, and that is some emails. A lot of people think email marketing is dead. I'm here to tell you that is not true. That is not true. That is not true. In fact, I think email marketing is more important now than it ever has been. And the reason that I say that is because the email marketing has been email marketing job. Let me tell you. Okay. So I've gone live this week and I've talked about, and I thought I would be remiss if I didn't come over here and talk to y'all about this too. So I've gone live this week and I've done a 4-part video series. And that whole video series is about becoming the personal brand and monetizing your life, getting paid to exist. I am using green screen, full disclosure, but I am basically sitting in my bed, which looks just like this. It's just easier to have the green screen and have it look this way and not be dealing with all the moving of the bed and everything. So, um, you are the brand, you are the content, you are the algorithm. It's all about building a community, right? So, community is really important when monetizing yourself online. Okay. If you don't have community, it's going to be really difficult to hack the algorithm, to beat the algorithm, right? And so, what you do is you become the brand, you become the content, and that's how you build the community. And that community is what allows you to hack and beat the algorithm. So I'm looking for an actual old blog post where I talked about this years ago. But anyway, I don't know, because this is from like 2018 that I'm looking for, and I've done a lot of documents in the last month or so. But being the brand simply means that you show up as who you are, how you are, and those who like you, who trust you, and believe you will keep coming back, and that is how you build the community. So you don't have to be anyone other than who you are. Now there are people who are entertainers and they can become characters like TT, right? Joanne the scammer, right? You can do that, right? But not that's not the only way to do it. You can just show up as you and just be you. Now sometimes you might be a little bit more exaggerated, you know, a version of you, but you can still just show up and just be you. That's just the most important thing that I would want to stress to anybody looking to get monetized online. All the things that you probably think you need to have, like a large following, is not true. Thinking that you have to have this perfect life, thinking that you have to drive the Lamborghinis, thinking that you have to, take all these rich, luxurious vacations. Look around you, look around this app, and you will see that it's not true, right? There are people who show you their messy house and they talk about the struggle with keeping their house clean. They talk about the struggle to keep up with the daily activities of adulting, basically, right? There are people that show up and all they show you is cooking recipes because they love to cook and they would be doing it anyway. So they decided to turn the camera on. And in deciding to turn the camera on, they're sharing who they really are, what they really love, what they're good at. And either they intentionally start to monetize that or it actually starts to happen by default. Okay. It just tends to actually happen. But you have to understand this is the economy that we live in, right? The job that you have in most cases is not enough to pay the bills. You've got to find another way. And if you have children, and especially if you are a single parent, be it man or woman, you are going to, and I know because I raised two girls on my own. I did have family support, but we moved over an hour away from family. So they weren't there all day, every day. And it's different. I've experienced both, right? And so when you are a single parent, there becomes this, do I want to chase more money and leave my kids in the care of someone else that much more, or on their own if they are teenagers and all the dangers that come with that? Or how do I find this balance, right? Because I want to provide them with, not just for me, it wasn't just that I wanted to provide them with the material things. I wanted to close the gap. I wanted to close the gap because when I graduated from college and I sat in orientation and just listening to my counterparts, and there was only one of me in the room, you know what I'm talking about. There was only one of me in the room, and listening to what they received from their family from graduation, how their families paid for their education. I didn't sit there with envy. I sat there and I fully understood the mission even deeper than I understood it before that. I understood that it was on me to make sure that when my children graduated from college and they were sitting in the orientation room, that the gap was closed between my experience and listening to them and like, wow, they didn't have to figure out how to get transportation. They didn't have to figure out how to, you know, pay for their apartment and all of these other things. They had a leg up on me. Me going to college was not enough to close the gap of the head start that a lot of other people had on me in life. And I'm not saying that their life was easy. I'm not saying that they didn't work hard. That's not this talk, okay? That's just not this talk, right? But there was a gap, and I noticed that gap. And so when I was raising my children, even as a single parent, my goal was to close that gap, okay? Now, my children have made their decisions in life about what they're going to do and all that. This is not that talk either. This is just simply talking about why this economy of people being able to come online and being able to monetize that, them being the brand, them being the content and creating a community around that and monetizing it is really not an option anymore. It's just really not an option. It's also never been as easy as it has been now to be able to do exactly that, be the brand, be the content, build the community, and monetize it, right? Literally, I've got a ring light that I bought in like 2018, 2019 for a little over $100. And I didn't always have that ring light. I was doing this on Periscope, on Facebook, on Twitter for years without a ring light and a tripod. Okay, so you don't even have to start there. I literally used to, on my laptop, have it stacked on top of books and set my iPhone 5 right there on the laptop, and that was how I went live, right? I had a chair that was lower, and the laptop and everything was up higher, and it was still propped up on books, and I had the iPhone sitting right there. And then from there, I went to a $10 tripod for years before I invested in the ring light, okay? So that's what I'm telling you. It has never been easier than it is right now than to monetize yourself and make money, right? And listen, not everybody is going to want to quit their job. I understand that. Not everybody should quit their job. Just for me, a job and a boss are just not an option, okay? But for a lot of people, that may not necessarily be the option. But everyone should have multiple streams of income. Everyone, and notice I said everyone, so that includes me, right? So I make money different ways, right? And it's funny because people will think, oh, how do you make money? How do you live? How do you make enough money to live just doing that? Because you only see one piece. You don't see all these other things. And for some people, their minds are just not even expanded enough to understand how it all flows together and work together, because the only thing they can know and believe and vision is a job and working for someone else. And that's fine. But I just want you to understand the risk, right? We think the trades, we think certain jobs are safe, and they are not. Okay. I have a relative worked at a company for 28 years that sang his praises, and he sang their praises. He was on vacation with his wife and beautiful granddaughters and got word that his job was gone of 28 years because the company was gone. It had nothing to do with him, his performance, or any of that. The company literally shut down while he was on vacation. Okay. So think about that. Think about the fact that no matter what you do, you have no control over if and when your job may be gone. Okay. Now, these are smart people. My uncle and his wife, they're smart people. I know they've got savings. I know they will be okay. But I also think it's a great opportunity for him to monetize, he and his wife and family, to monetize themselves with a YouTube channel. I'm not going to go into what it is because I don't identify people. I keep people de-identified. But they have a great opportunity to monetize what they do as far as, some things that they're into as a family. And I think it would be a very lucrative thing for them, right? Even my dad is like, I want you to build me a fishing website. And he wants to sell t-shirts and hats and that. And I'm like, he's retired now. So I think that is amazing. By the way, this relative, just like 5 more years away from retirement. 5 more years. Now, I'm a firm believer in that it doesn't have to be the most disastrous thing when you lose your job, and it's never too late. The best day to plant the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today, right? So, and that's the beautiful thing about this. But I just want you to understand, when we think that a job is the safest place to be, it's not, right? Especially, like, even like I said, going back to those who work in the trades and more laborious jobs. It's no different than being in a professional sports league. One injury and you might not be able to work in your industry again, right? And I'm not a fear monger, so I'm not here to install fear in you, but understand this is why I monetize almost every aspect of my life. Okay. Almost every aspect of my life is monetized in some way, shape, or form, because you cannot rely on one stream of income in 2023. This is why I always talk about, what's your zombie apocalypse skill set, right? What is something that because for me, my risk would be if I had everything built into online, right? How do I still make money if there is a blackout? Well, first of all, if there's a worldwide blackout, we all in trouble. Okay, so we'll just say that. But what are things that you can do in order to still be able to survive and make it? And first of all, I truly believe that my supply comes from God. And so he will always provide for me. I will never be without. That I'm not concerned about. But he also has given me skills and talents and abilities in order to be able to help myself, because I also believe that God helps those who help themselves, right? And so, in one of the videos this week, I talk about that. If you are a hiring manager, for example, I have friends and relatives who work in HR, right? If you are a hiring manager and you know what makes a resume stand out, there are people on this very app who create free content around that. They're branding themselves and they have built community, and then they begin to monetize and sell things to that community that solves problems that community has, right? So that's one example. For me, it is marketing, right? But I don't just monetize marketing, right? I also do some affiliate marketing. I offer affiliate products in a few different industries, right? So not only the skincare, but the health and wellness products. I talk about my weight loss journey, my midlife journey all the time, and there are products on the back end of that. And if you show up and you engage, I'm grateful for that. And if you buy something, I'm even more grateful for that, right? And then I also sell affiliate products related to marketing, right? I also build leveraged income streams. I also do coaching. I also create my own digital products and courses. That's what I'm emailing about today is my digital course, Pin Profits Mastery, right? So I am monetizing my skill set, my knowledge, my expertise, my life experience in pursuit of serving others, not just to make a dollar, but to serve, impact, and help the lives of others. Okay? Because we all got to eat. And I believe there is more than enough for us all out here to eat. Basically, it's the supply is unlimited. We can literally create it, right? We can create it. And so that's part of what this video series that I have over on YouTube is about, right? Like, there has never been an easier time to be able to help yourself and create meaningful income for yourself and your family using natural sunlight. That was my first ring light. Natural sunlight. I figured out where and what times of day to position myself to get that natural sunlight flooding in. Okay. Your phone and Wi-Fi. And remember, even in third world countries, people have cell phones, text messaging, and internet. Okay. It's just like I think people have more of that than maybe even electricity. Don't believe me? Google it. Okay. So your phone, Wi-Fi, free websites like ChatGPT, Google Docs, Google Sheets, right? And your knowledge and experience, right? You don't even always have to show your face. There are faceless monetized YouTube channels out there that are making a heck of a lot of money. There are faceless Instagram pages that are fashioned after, like, the Shade Room, for example, where it's all curated content but still branded at the same time, where the people behind it don't have to show their faces. They actually do now a little bit, but you don't have to do that, right? So it has never been easier to go out and start from zero and pretty quickly generate a meaningful income. It's never been easier to do it. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It doesn't mean you're going to go from zero to a million in one day. Nobody said that, right? I can only be responsible for what I said, not for what you understood, not really what you heard. So I'm going to make sure you understand. I am not saying you can go from zero to a millionaire overnight. In fact, most overnight successes are not overnight successes at all. They were many years in the making. Bernie Mac is one of my favorite examples of that, and Steve Harvey as well. Nobody really even knew who they were until they were in their 40s, if not 50s. Okay. Steve Harvey had a whole other career before the Kings of Comedy, and that was working in the factories of General Motors in Detroit, Michigan. Okay. So it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter what you look like, what you sound like. There is an audience out there for you, but you have to be willing to show up and or create the content. Because even if it's faceless, you still have to show up to the degree of, if you don't create the content, if you don't act on the vision, none of it will come to fruition. Okay. So you are the brand, you are the content, you are the algorithm. You show up as you brand you, and that will attract people to you, and you will start to build the community. You also create the content, and you are the content. So as I am right here, what I mean by you are the content, I am doing right now. I'm sitting here. I was writing emails. Said, you know what? I should push live. I should go live right here while I am writing emails on a Saturday morning. I am the content. I go live and I show me doing my skincare routine. Mask Monday, I go live and I show me my supplement routine and taking my supplement routine, right? Going live when I'm on, I've gone live from, hikes and things like that. So you are the content. Going live is also, I have a reel that's still continuing to do really well. And it's just me talking about things that I do in my kitchen to, prevent gnats and fruit flies because I am the content, right? All those things that I learned watching my mother, my grandmother, and my aunties, because I come from a family that cleanliness is next to godliness, right? All those little things that they've taught me, there are so many people who don't know that. And I share that information because part of my brand is I believe in clean, toxic-free living and beauty. And I should say cleaner because I'm not 100% yet, but I strive to get closer and closer to that 100% all the time. And so just sharing that journey. There's this whole, productization of yourself concept that is out there, right? And it is literally you solving your own problems and then selling it, packaging it and selling it, right? So me struggling with weight loss midlife, you know what I'm talking about? Midlife, and the things that I would do to lose weight in my 20s and 30s, no longer working in my 40s, and sharing that struggle. And by the way, here's how I got over that hump. Here's how I've been able to improve my health, my wellness, my vitality, right? My mood, my focus, my concentration. Here's what I've been doing. You may or may not be interested, but this is what worked for me. Okay. Entertaining with that, right? I posted a video this morning sharing how, and I talk about this all the time. I every few months I've got friends my age who think they might be pregnant, and it's because they're going through periods of months without periods, and then all of a sudden it shows up, right? I've got a friend who recently, on August 1st, got her period. She thought she was, because they say menopause starts is officially 12 months of no period, right? She was about to hit month 12, and guess who showed up, right? So, and she gave me permission. She was like, oh, yeah, definitely share that, right? I've got another friend who's on this app, and she's very vocal, and she shared how she went to the doctor, her and her husband, all excited, and this is me ad-libbing, thinking they were going to be leaving with their prenatal vitamins, only to find no, you're likely going into menopause, right? Because they want another child. They've struggled with infertility. They've got two who are now teens, and they just wanted one more. They still want one more, and they're saying the same thing. God is the supply, so God will have the last word on that, right? And so that is what I mean by you are the brand, you are the content. I still help some clients who have a brand. Like I actually do have a brand, Holt Chocolate, right? And I have clients who have brands, who have physical products and services, right? And I do create content plans for them. But for people like myself, I do that for myself as well as I do the personal branding, right? And so when you are trying to do this piece of what I do, just monetize yourself, live to get paid, live to exist. This is what I'm talking about. You are the brand, you are the content, you are the algorithm, okay? It's not that complicated. You don't have to create an elaborate content plan and in that. You should have a strategy, and I can help you with that strategy. But the strategy can be as simple as I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna do 2 or 3 reels a day of different things related to my personal brand, what I'm willing to share openly and publicly and transparently. And I understand that there may be trolls, and I'm going to do the personal development to be able to handle that, right? And then from there, I am going to monetize it, right? It's not that difficult. It's really not, right? Because here's the thing, and here's what I tell people who, like, for example, want to do what I do with skincare, clean beauty, clean, clean, cleaning products for your home, health and wellness products, is this. You're taking the supplements every day, right? So why not do it in front of the camera, either through your stories, recorded video, or live video? You're gonna do your skincare routine every single day, right? So why not do that, right? If you are reading your devotional every day, read your devotional in stories and on live, right? Whatever it is that you're doing every single day that can be of, and you have information, you have knowledge, you have expertise behind it, you should just, in my opinion, not everybody is willing to do this. It ain't for everybody, but the opportunity is there for anybody to turn the camera on and share that with the world. And even if you don't think that you have skill, you have knowledge, you have expertise or experience with it, just the simple fact that you have the product and you know how the product works and you've used the product in different ways, you can share that. You can even do it, like I said, you can combine the two. Like you can do your morning devotional and skincare routine every single day. And I guarantee you at the end of 100 days, you will, if you do that consistently, you will have an audience at the end of that 100 days. And of that audience, you will have people who show up. These people will notice when you don't show up every day, and that will be your community. And then having conversation with that community is where the door to monetization will open up naturally, even without you trying to, right? Brands may come to you. The opportunity may come to you. Some of us just didn't wait. That was my whole thing when I got started in 2013, is I was not waiting for the opportunity to come to me. I was going to monetize regardless of the brand sponsorships. Okay. So let's talk about these emails that I am writing. Because one of the things I do teach, regardless of if you have a brand or if you are the brand, is that when you are building community online, it is very important that you have a way, especially when you're building on social media. That's one of the things that I've done a short form video about recently, is that you have a way to have contact and continue the relationship off of that social media platform, because you don't own it. And no, you don't own the email platform either, but there are some things that you can do to make sure that, say that relationship gets severed for whatever reason, you should be regularly downloading your email list. Okay. You should be regularly downloading your email list. I do SMS text messaging, and so I regularly download that information so that I have it, right? And when I say own your list, I don't mean you own the people on that list. I mean owning the data, owning the emails, right? Meaning you have access to it, regardless of if you have access to that platform or not. And I'm going to tell you why. There is this girl on TikTok who has built a very sizable following, I think 300,000 on a business page, on a single business page for her company that rehabs very high-end luxury handbags, vintage boho bags or something like that. Well, a competitor or a hater reported them to Instagram, and Instagram said, you are selling counterfeit product. And she's not selling counterfeit product, and she's got all the proof to show it, right? And so she is begging and pleading with people to help her get Instagram to give her her account back, because she was going to have to lay off 60 people, right? And even with me telling her, hey, I know you're dealing with all of this right now, but you need to also know that it is up to you to not put yourself in this position again, and make sure that you have the contact information, and that you also don't put all of your eggs in one social media platform. You should have presence on at least social media platforms. And of that presence on social media platforms, you want to make sure that there is not a majority of those platforms being held by the same company. So Facebook and Instagram actually, in my opinion, count as one platform because they have the same ownership. So if you are on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, you're not diversified thinking you're on three different platforms. You are really on two different platforms. And I'm not saying that when Facebook gets shut down, your Instagram gets shut down. I am saying, though, that a lot of the things that are restrictive on Facebook are also restrictive on Instagram. And so it's really important to not also, there's layers to it. So it's not just diversifying the platforms. You want to make sure you're not on all platforms that are all owned by the same company. Okay. I have a lot of experience with, building contingencies in your business. And that's just good business stewardship and good business acumen to consider these things and mitigate the risk. I'm not saying we operate out of fear. I'm saying we as business owners and business people have to mitigate our risk. And over 67% of this company's business came from Instagram. That's a problem. That's a big, big problem, right? It's the same as if 100% of your income comes from employment. That's a problem. It's a problem, right? And so that's why it's important to take those relationships offline and be collecting that information and be building that relationship through means outside of the social media platform. Okay. So what I'm working on is a few different types of emails. I have one big email list actually, and I use diversification. I use multiple email service providers so that I'm always able to communicate. Okay. And so I have multiple lists, but let's just consider it one big list. And I break that list down by what people are interested in, where they came from, if they're more interested in product, or if they are also, some people are on multiple lists because they may also be interested in monetization, right? And so from there, one of the big things I've had on my to-do list is to clean up my email list, right? Because you want to keep your email list clean and healthy, meaning that people are opening emails, that they are clicking on links, but most importantly, that they are opening your emails. Because if they're not opening your emails get demoted more and more, and less people even get to see them, let alone open them, right? And so having a good email open rate means you need to get people off of your list who are not opening and reading your emails. And so I'm doing a campaign as kind of like a last ditch effort for some of these people before I kick them off of my list. And that sounds harsh, but hey, it is what it is, right? You've got to be, if people aren't engaging, and it's the same with your social media too. Like where on Facebook, you max out at 5,000 followers, you've got to go through regularly, and people that aren't engaging with you, either with your content, and if you wish someone a happy birthday, just said, hey, happy birthday for 3 years, and they don't have the common courtesy to at least say thank you, get them off your list. They don't want to have a relationship with you. So get them off your list. And one of the things that I've had to learn, because when I first got into email marketing, I used to be so obsessed with that one person who unsubscribed. How dare they? They unsubscribe. And now I'm grateful every time they do, because number one, I know that they made room for one more person who wants to be on my list and will openly engage and read the emails, right? And, it's like they say everyone wants to get even with those who didn't support them, but they don't worry about getting even with those who did support them. And so, what I also do is make sure that I am grateful for and serving at a very high level those that are opening and reading the emails. And the dialogue and the conversation I have had this week with people in email has been very light opening. I don't know if that's the right phrase to my soul. It's just felt good to know that, hey, there are people on my list who may not have bought anything, but they still enjoy getting and that's what they're telling me. No, I love getting your emails. Please keep sending them. I enjoy learning from you. And thanks for summarizing and sending me this. I'm going to go check out all this content right now, right? It's because there's this saying that how long do you email people until they buy, unsubscribe, or die, right? And this is proof, right? And if they're not opening your emails, remove them. Remove them. Get them off your list so that the law of attraction can work and bring in the people that want to open your emails. One of the other things I've learned in this particular project this week is that right now people really want to learn what it is that I'm going live and talking about. People really want to learn what it is that I do. In fact, I would say they're even desperate for it, right? I've learned that I really do create value, that I do educate, and that people really, learn that I make an impact. And so that's good because that helps me keep going on the rough days, right? Because there are periods of time when the emails and that it just don't give what it's supposed to give, right? And it gets rough. And so it's going well. All of the things that I've invested in, because you got to remember, with multiple master's degrees, digital marketing was not a thing, right? Back when I went through formal education, I have self-studied and invested thousands of dollars and hours in time learning and building upon my formal education. Okay. So the other thing I'm doing with email is because I'm segmenting those who are on a list for online marketing, digital marketing, affiliate marketing, and monetization. I am launching my Pin Profits Mastermind to them and introducing it to them, and it's been a process. And I created a new, what's called a lead magnet, a free gift, not only for them, but it's really designed for complete strangers on the internet who are looking for this kind of information in order to be able to learn more about why they definitely want to be on Pinterest marketing. And trust me, you definitely want to have a very strong presence on Pinterest right now. Number one, it's the wild, wild west. It's a new frontier. And yes, there are half a billion, nearly 500 billion monthly active users on Pinterest, and it is one of my fastest growing platforms. However, most people are using it from a consumer standpoint and not from a creator standpoint. I'll say that again. Most of those people on Pinterest are consumers of the content. They are not actively creating content to educate, inform, empower, entertain regarding their brand, their products, their services, and be able to reach and serve and impact people that they would not otherwise be able to. And there are 500,000,000 of them over on Pinterest. Okay? Think about that. That's powerful. So I'm writing emails and sending emails to that segment of my email list. And today, the email is going to be titled Join Me in Congratulating, because a member of Pin Profits Mastery last night had someone reach out to her on Pinterest to become a customer and even join her leveraged team. Okay, so that's huge. So I'm going to share that social proof to further build my credibility, right? Because one of the things I've been working on the last week or so is now, for the first 6 weeks while I was working with the people in the actual mastermind during that time on creating the content, now we are in promotion of the content and polishing of the content. And so I am creating a lot of content with calls to action to download this free lead magnet and watch this free video training that I recorded nearly 2 weeks ago now. Okay, so you can actually get access to that. And all you have to do is click up here and I'm gonna pop the little box is gonna pop up halfway on the screen. If you're not following me, you definitely want to follow me, because while the stuff that stays on the timeline here is 90% about my weight loss and midlife journey, I still weave in some of this content, and I definitely will be weaving in more of this content live. Okay. And so when you click up here and that box comes up, click that red button and follow me. You're going to still hear me in the video. Thank you for sharing. You're going to end up over on my personal profile. And there in that red box where it says Q&A in red, I should say, right above that is my website. Click that and it's going to open up. And if you text secret to the number that's listed at the top, your text messages app will open up, and just text the word secret to me, and I will send you the link to be able to watch that video. It's no obligation. It's completely free. And then you'll be in communication with me so that if anything happens on this app or any other app, we can always still have that dialogue. Because first and foremost, I'm here to serve, right? And how I serve is by being the brand, being the content, building that community, because then y'all are serving each other and me as well. And I'm serving y'all. There's a whole lot of reciprocity going on. And then there is some monetization that happens. But notice monetization is the last thing. It is not the first thing. It is not the most important thing. The most important thing is the connection, the relationship, and the community. That is where the magic happens. And then the monetization is a natural byproduct of that. I was talking with someone on a Zoom this week, and, because, we were interviewing each other. Do I want to coach her? And does she want me to be her coach? And that was one of the things that came up. A lot of people, a lot of women in particular, get that ick feeling about sales. And I very just nonchalantly and matter of factly at the same time said to her, well, if you just really think about and approach sales from a service standpoint, sales is serving, and the money just flows naturally from you serving, that solves that problem. She's like, oh my God, right? And I was telling her too about a friend of mine I met about 10 years ago. We were both selling, partnered with the same company and selling products and building teams. And she said, one of the reasons I keep in contact with you and always want to hang out with you and be in your energy is because when I'm around you, I feel like I can fly, right? So if you have that type of mentality, right? If you have that service of a heart, and for some, if you're the class clown, if you're the job clown, then be the clown of the app. Make people laugh. People need that on a day-to-day basis. You might actually be saving someone's life, right? And so put that first, and everything else will fall into place. Everything else will just happen naturally from that, okay? I came online with a marketing education that was both working for me and against me at the same time. Thank you for the hearts. I sound like those NPC girls. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the likes. Right? I know I'm sincere though. I really do appreciate it. It helps me a lot. So I forgot what I was saying before that though. But see, that's that authenticity, right? The people who follow me and watch me regularly, they know that about me. So make sure you hit that follow button. If you're not ready to be in communication, hit that follow button and turn those notifications on, because I have given myself a challenge of going live every day for 30 days. And transparency, I missed yesterday, but I did multiple lives earlier in the week per day. So I still feel like it kind of balances out. And I'm going to do 2 today. Okay. So right now we're talking about this, and at some point later today, I will go live and talk about weight loss and what I've been doing to help other women in their 40s who are struggling, who are in their 50s and even in their 30s, who are struggling with weight loss and being healthy in midlife, right? So those are the emails I am working on. And with the re-engagement campaign, what I have done is it was email 3 of a 4-part series. And in this particular email, I sent a quick one question survey, right? And let me tell you the numbers of this campaign, because it originally went out to a lot of people, right? On my list. And I'd been really bad about not regularly emailing my list because it gets to be a lot when you do it at the level that I do it and do everything that I do. And so I'm not going to share the exact numbers, but I can give you percentages, right? So of those that had been um, not opened an email in 30 days, I was able to recapture more than half of them. I have never, not for myself or a client, been able to recapture more than half of the list and get them re-engaged. Usually, if you get 10% re-engaged, that's an excellent job. And I have recaptured nearly half of those. Nearly half, not nearly, over half as of this morning. It's actually over half as of this morning. Whereas if you get 3% re-engaged, you did really good. But to get 10% re-engaged is really good, especially as neglectful as I have been with my email list, right? So that tells me again that I am providing value, that my information, the content that I provide does impact, provide value, educate, and people want it. And to keep doing it, because the risk of me not doing it, when I don't do it, I'm disserving them because they're not getting the information that they need to free themselves and their families from the bondage of debt, from the bondage of showing up every day at a job that they hate, from the bondage of children being left unattended, unsupervised, and all the dangers that come with that, right? And so it just helps me become that much more fired up about what it is that I do. Okay. So this survey is designed now it's a one question survey and it's really focused on getting the engagement. But now I can start gathering data. And this has always been very successful for me, no matter the size of my list compared to now or in the future. I mean, I've had really big lists and I've whittled it down and built it back up multiple times. And this one question always, always, always does well. And then what happens in my business after I ask this question does really, really well is also. And so I'm not only asking this of the people that I've now re-engaged, I'm also going to ask it of those who might not be interested in Pinterest marketing right now. What is the single biggest challenge you're facing in your business right now related to building your business online? And what I'm going to do with that information is then develop a second survey that gives options of what they would like to see more of from me. Okay. This is how you build community. Okay. This is how you build that community, and then you can serve that community. Because one of the things that works for me and against me, again, is over 30 years of sales, marketing, and leadership experience. So I have to always remember you don't always know what it is that they want from you or what they need. You can presume, but the only way to know for sure, and I've been preaching this to clients, and it's like, okay, girl, take your own advice here. I need to know for sure what they need and what they want. Because right now, half of them are not interested in Pinterest. So, what are you interested in? How can I serve you? What do you need from me? What do you want from me? And asking that between these two emails, and then also taking that same, not full re engagement campaign, but the same survey over to those who are not interested in Pinterest marketing. Okay. So, this is content that I normally only really share with paid students, people in my email marketing courses, people, in my coaching and other courses. And here I am on this app on this Saturday that God decided to wake me up and tap me on the shoulder. And so he told me to share it with you, and I am sharing it with you. So I need to go ahead and write this email to I actually already sent out the survey email, and now I already sent that out before I decided to push the button and go live. It's already getting opened, and people are reading and clicking. And now I am going to go back to those that are in the segment for Pin Profits Mastery, and I'm going to send them the social proof, excuse me, about Jennifer and her success and she's only been in the course a week or two, and she's already doing the work. Because here's the thing, you can buy the course. If you don't do the work, that's on you, right? You don't do the work, you can't say it doesn't work. You got to actually do the work. And she's not overcomplicating it. She's just taking it and running with it, partly because usually people who are in certain situations where they have to produce end up producing. And so that's what she's doing. And so I want to tell the world about her success because I'm very excited and very happy for her because she needs this, right? And so I know if she needs it, there's someone else in her situation who also needs it. And so we're going to go ahead and start crafting that email now. And this is where I don't know how they flip and they start turning things and showing you. So I might have to get a different setup. So I'm actually, this is my MailerLite account that I am in. And this is actually an account that you can start with for free. And I think you can get up to 1,000 subscribers and it's free. And you actually do get the ability to use it as an autoresponder for free. Whereas MailChimp, you can use it for free for 250 or 500 subscribers. But if you want emails to go automatically, that's $15 a month. And is it a good 1,500? It's not 1,500. It's $15 a month. And is it a good $15 a month to spend? Yes. But MailChimp just is not the most friendly to online affiliate marketers, network marketers, direct sales. Plus, there are platforms out there that will let you get started and do pretty much all of the things for free. So why not use those? And I'm one that you got to have some skin in the game. You got to have some skin in the game. But I also understand there are people, especially in this economy, with food and rent and housing and just breathing outside being expensive, that they might need to start with free, and that's okay. And then being grateful, and it is a blessing when you move to the paid plan because that means you, even if the money isn't quote unquote there yet, it's definitely on its way, and it's a sign that it's on its way. So the good thing is that I've been doing this and with email marketing since 2014 and learned from some of the best. So I already know what the email subject line is going to be, and it's going to be join me in congratulating Jennifer. Okay, so that's the subject line. And then I already have the email written. And it just is saying, hey, join me in congratulating Jennifer. She's been in Pin Profits Mastery for just a few weeks, and she's had a lot of different things going on in her life where, it's really important to her that she start getting more sales and quickly. And so she is making the pins and she's getting them out there. She's got the boards and she is already seeing success. Here is proof. Don't forget, if you have not watched this video training, go watch this video training now because this is where Jennifer started. Get the workbook, fill out the workbook, and move through the process. And that's it. And then now I'm going to, I got that copied and pasted into there. And it's already set on the segment that I want to send it to. And click send now, right? One thing about me is I do know the best times to email. I don't always get to send at those times. And so the next best time to send an email is right now, or schedule it is right now. Okay. It's better to get it done than not. And I will tell you too, one of the reasons I've struggled with emailing my email list as much as I should is sometimes I'm just too exhausted to know what to write. I'm just too exhausted. And so what I have learned is I have all these templates from wonderful mentors that are proven that I've um, learned from. So why not just use some of those templates sometimes, like this join me in congratulating. And then sometimes I've done this so long, I forget that I even learned that from them. And I think I came up with it on my own. And sometimes it's a combination of I was doing that and then I learned how they do it and tweaked it and combined pieces of the two together. But it, and also there's this great thing out there called Chat GPT, which I can start writing the email and say, hey, this is kind of what I want to do. This is what it's about, but I need to make it sound more like me. I need to do this. I need to do that. And then it gets written and boom, it's out. And so since I've had Chat GPT, I've done a lot better job of emailing more often because I do too much in my business and I know that. I'm not against hiring assistants and virtual assistants. It's just a commitment for me that scares me, somebody else being reliant on me for income. So that is something I'm still working on in my personal development. But in the meantime, in between time, that's what automation is for. That's what tools are for. So it's not like I'm just doing it on my own. I am definitely using tools and resources, and I have my network, and I'm in masterminds and bounce things off of other people. So I truly am not in business alone. I have a vast, very, very knowledgeable, very successful network in place where I am not the smartest person in the room. Remember, because you're the smartest person in the room, it's time to move around. You need to find your room, though. Okay? So the fact that I am coughing is telling me I think it might be time to rest for a little bit. But don't you worry, I will be back from this same green screen background, or maybe not, because I'll probably be in the kitchen talking about weight loss and midlife later on, probably this evening. Okay. If you are not on my list, you want to get on my list. And how you do that is you click right up here, and then that box is going to come up halfway on the screen. Make sure that you click that red button and follow me if you are not, and then turn on those notifications so you know when I go live. And then go over to my profile from there by clicking my face again. And right above where it says Q&A in red is my website. Click on that, and the number to text me is there. And text secret, and I will send you that free video training and workbook. And you want to then go down and subscribe to all my social media because, baby, one thing about me, if I'm emailing my list or not, one thing I am doing is I am putting a plethora of information on these internet webs. I am all over. I am omnipresent. Pinterest, TikTok, Twitter, X, whatever they are called, Instagram, YouTube. I am in all those major, major, major places. Okay. I even have a Snapchat that I haven't been on in forever. Okay. So I am going to go wet my whistle so y'all don't have to hear me gulp because I know some people hate that sound and I'm a gulper. So I am going to go. I probably should have put on some lip gloss. I have my lips gloss for y'all instead of looking all pale and ashy. Okay. So I'm going to go and that's it. I knocked out two birds with one stone. And that's what I mean. I've set this challenge of going live every day for 30 days, and I've been treating it as a separate activity. Whereas now I am doing what I would be doing and should be doing for my business anyway, which is emailing and being live at the same time. That's just being smart. That's being both effective and efficient. By the way, that's what AI tools like Opus and ChatGPT have really helped me do. And I feel like I have been so much more productive in these last 4 months. I am telling y'all, when I work out of my peak state, out of my